Hey, brand builder, Rory Vaden here. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out this interview. As always, it's our honor to provide it to you for free. And wanted to let you know there's no big sales pitch or anything coming at the end. However, if you are someone who is looking to build and monetize your personal brand, we would love to talk to you and get to know you a little bit and hear about some of your dreams and visions and share with you a little bit about what we're up to see if we might be a fit. So if you're interested in a free strategy call with someone from our team, we would love to hear from you. You can do that at brandbuildersgroup.com/podcall, brandbuildersgroup.com/podcall. We hope to talk to you soon.
Every time I get to sit down with someone like Dean Graziosi, it's just like, I just think it's the coolest thing that after doing this, I guess I've been at this for a while now, 15 years at least. I mean, legitimately, you would say, yeah, like 15, 16 years that I've been pretty much full time at this industry, and getting to meet people like him, it's like, this is someone I grew up, there's watching on TV, right? And Tony Robbins, like, they're doing business together. Like, what an honor to just to get to meet them and talk to them, and then how valuable to get into this guy's mind. And that's what I want to give you, these three core takeaways from me, or from Dean, that I took away for me. And I love, like, if you didn't listen to the episode yet, go back and listen, because a couple things. First of all, there's sort of three things I've always wanted to like ask Dean about, and we got to all three of them in that interview. So, and I'm going to share the debrief of those right now, because I thought there was like, these are three very specific things that, like, when I think of him and what he has done really well, I wanted to like know how these parts that are really mindset things. And the other thing is, and I just have to say, like, I didn't have much of a relationship. I had zero relationship with Dean other than what I saw online and stuff here and there in different promotions. And, he's definitely an information marketer. I mean, he's one of the direct response kings, and yet I never had a personal encounter with him, but I've had a few now. So this would be like my fourth or fifth time spending time with him one-on-one. And every time I'm with him, I genuinely enjoy the guy. And I genuinely feel like he is both serving and I think he is selling. Like, and I think I've known him as a salesperson, but also getting to understand a little bit more about his heart and stuff. And that's why we wanted to bring him to you. We wouldn't bring anyone to you that we didn't believe in. And obviously Thrive 350.com. That's our affiliate link. So we're putting it in front of you because there's a lot to learn from Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins. A lot to learn. Like, whether you know a lot about him or nothing about him, whether you think of Dean as you might think of him as a direct response marketer. You might, whatever you think about Tony, like they've been around a long time, or maybe you don't know either. But like, no matter what you think about them, it's indisputable to me to go, these guys know how to reach people. These guys know how to get their message out there. These guys have influence. These guys, they are connected to the most influential people in the world, athletes and billionaires and politicians and charitable organizations and like churches and entertainers. And like, they have built massive influence, both in terms of their indirect relationships, the people they know, and their direct reach, their ability to, like, their audience, the number of people who come to their events, read their books, follow them on social media, are in their email list, et cetera, et cetera. And you go, I think, myself included here, some of us struggle a little bit with, maybe it's knowledge, like maybe it's knowing what to do to reach people. But I think a lot of us mission-driven messengers, we struggle with sort of the conviction and the boldness of telling people who we are and why why what we're doing matters. And that was a really important interview. And, that's what they're teaching. Right. So anyways, you can check out thrive350.com. Go as soon as you get this, as soon as you listen to this, because they have a bunch of free training with Matthew McConaughey and Tony and Dean. Obviously, he mentioned, so Jenna Kutcher is become another really good friend lately. She's a doll. Like, And so, check this out, go there. And I'd say if nothing else, go register and watch how they do these launches, right? Like I'm fascinated, being that we're an affiliate for this launch for them, is I'm learning a ton just seeing the way that they do things, and just like, oh, this is how that works. And this is how that works. And they have reaching people down to a science. And so that's actually my first takeaway that I want to talk about, was the whole conversation around advertising. And it's amazing. Like what Dean said is so true, where it's like, do you know the person who wins is the person who can spend the most on ads? That is the person who wins. When you're talking, not just about making money, but just reach, where you go, who's reaching the most people? Is it the smartest person? Like, is it the neuroscience, scientist? Is it the neurosurgeon? Is it the, the doctorate at the university? Is it the brilliant guy that lives in somebody's basement? No, it's like, they're not reaching the most people. The people who are reaching the most people are spending the most money on advertising. Is Coca-Cola the best soda ever? No, like probably not. I mean, I don't drink soda, but they reach the most people. They're spending the most on advertising. And so that to me is a really important switch that has to flip for you, right? Like at some point you have to get over that. You have to get over that reluctance, that apprehension of telling people about what you do. Like whether you like it or not, if you can't get past that roadblock, if you can't get past this limitation, this mental barrier of saying, I am unashamed of what I do, I have to boldly and unapologetically tell the world who I am and what I do. If I cannot get past that, then I'm going to be stuck here in secret, in private, the world's best kept secret. And, the parallel that he used of like Martin Luther King Jr. is a great one. Like lots of people wanted to affect civil rights and cure injustice and inequality. But Martin Luther King is remembered in history because he was able to do it through influence and understanding people and communicating and getting the message out and being able to rally an audience. This is a life-changing skill set. And you got to have conviction in what you're doing. And I think the first is sort of like a logical realization. This isn't the order that we talked about them in the interview. We talked about ads in the middle of the interview. But to me, the first realization is that the person with the most reach is not the smartest. They're not the best. They're not the most credible or qualified or experienced. They are just the best at marketing. And that's a huge part of this. No, if I don't know about you, I can't buy from you. If I don't know about you, I can't donate to your charity. If I don't know you're there, I can't be involved in your mission, your product, your service, your program, your institution, your university, your organization. Like people have to know about you. And if you're not willing to get into the game of going, I want to let people in the world know that I'm here, then somebody who is probably less qualified, somebody who is less credible, somebody with less expertise, somebody with less experience, somebody with a less effective program is going to reach those people because they're willing to overcome that mental roadblock about they're somehow inconveniencing other people by telling them that they're there. And this has been continues to be a huge struggle and battle for me. And for so long, I've worn it as a badge of honor that we don't spend money on advertising. It's all referrals and word of mouth, of which I think there's some real beauty to that, right? Like you want to grow your business in the most profitable way possible. And I do think referrals is the best way to grow your business, but it's not necessarily that's not at odds with going, what is the predictable way to constantly grow or to reach more people is to go, but how do you win? Who's going to reach more people? It's the person who can spend the most on advertising. And the way you justify that, well, not just emotionally, which we've been talking about, but logically and financially, is you have to get really good at your metrics. You have to know your numbers. You have to understand customer lifetime value of every click and every step of the way. And you have to have a process of what you're driving them to do. These are things that we teach at Brand Builders Group in our, revenue engine and high traffic strategies. Those are some of our phase 2 trainings to our clients. And that's why I'm excited about learning from people like Dean and Tony in the programs they have, because they're doing it, right? And they're reaching so many people. So you have to get past that roadblock. The second one is going, okay, not just telling people about it, but then selling people and collecting money. And so many of us struggle to sell. We're afraid. It's almost like we grovel at the idea of asking people like, oh, I'm sorry, I have to ask you for money. And we don't think of it as a service. And I loved what he said when it was like, you have to fall in love. You have to love so much. Here's what he said. You have to love what you do so much that you feel bad if you don't offer it to people. You have to love what you do so much that you feel bad if you don't offer it to people. And, in this very moment, I feel that way. I go, man, Brand Builders Group, like, we created this company because we don't see anyone in the world that can do this better than us. Like, our team cares so much about helping our clients succeed. And in the human to human space of like getting real life coaching, like, and training human to human and live experiences, encounters, it's like, I don't know anyone who has a better program for that, better curriculum. We spent our career life learning these things and testing these things and putting together, like, and the amount that we charge is so low. I mean, we literally have multiple clients who in the last few years have created 7-figure businesses, $1 million annual businesses from the stuff that they've learned from our curriculum. We don't charge anywhere near that. Like, to know the value of it is, we're super convicted of it. And man, we've poured so much time into it to fall in love with it. And I feel that same way about Dean, right? Like, I go on, man, I have to at least let you meet Dean. I mean, because his results are irrefutable, like the amount of people that they're reaching. And it's like it's like a predictable growth. He's figured out a way to get his message out to lots and lots of people. And he's done it consistent for 30 years. And it adds up over time to a lot of influence. And so if you're struggling with this, one of the practical things I think you do, like one of the practical takeaways, is fall in love with what you do. The more convicted you are in what you do, the more convicted you are in your product, your service, your own expertise, the harder you've worked at crafting the thing, the easier, the more conviction you'll have that people should buy it. And I feel like in many ways, Brand Builders Group, I mean, honestly, we have spent the first 4 years of this business building a world-class program. Like, we have sold some, like a lot. I mean, we're a very healthy multi-7-figure company, but like, I think we will become an 8-figure company quickly because we haven't been focused on advertising and reach. We've been building the program, building the ship, tightening it, testing it, tweaking it. And we have poured so much into it that it's like, now we can go tell the world, because it's tight. And we have that conviction. You should do the same thing, is go like, well, what would make you so convicted? Like, if you had the cure for cancer that tasted like chocolate, and you knew somebody had cancer and you knew you could cure them, you would feel obligated to share with them. You would feel it was your duty, your responsibility, your privilege, your honor to let them know that you can help them. You got to get to that, like, to that level or somewhere close to that level with your own product or services. Like, I've worked so hard at my craft. I've worked so hard at putting this together that I have to have the world know about it. And so anyways, we feel that way about Brand Builders Group. And that's why, we're putting out this podcast for you to sample us, our network, the people we're learning from, the things that we're doing, so that hopefully one day you go, you know what? I trust these guys enough to take a chance on them. And by the way, if you go to freebrandcall.com/podcast, you can request a call with our team. if you want the more human-based elements. Separate. And in addition to that, I would say go to thrive350.com and check out what Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi are teaching, right? They've put together a program teaching how they've gotten to be who they are. Hard to not pay attention to that. And I felt bad. I was like, I would feel bad about going, Tony Robbins has put together something that teaches the things that he actually believes about what he's done to help him become who he is, and not give you at least the opportunity to check that out. And if nothing else, at least the opportunity to go through it, right? Like sign up, go through the training, watch how they do it, and just learn from like experiencing what they're doing. And, even if you don't buy it or check it out, but again, like Matthew McConaughey, free training with Matthew McConaughey and Tony Robbins, like that's pretty legit. So anyways, that's thrive350.com. Or if you go, hey, I love what Brand Builders Group is up to, and I think I want like a human, encounter, like great, do both of them. But freebrandcall.com/podcast is how you get in touch with us. Love what you do so much that you feel bad that if you don't offer it to people. That's a great way to flip that mental switch. And then the last takeaway, which we talked about, was just, the mindset around money is to go, if you have a block of any type with making more money and you somehow think that it's evil, or you have to take advantage of people, or it's selfish, or it's self-centered, or if you have any of that related to money, then just change the focus and go, the reason I want to make a lot of money is so that I can give it away. Because I tell you, like every nonprofit that I know is doing that, they're doing amazing work. They need more money. Like they need money. They need money to get the message out about what they do. They need advertising and dollars and sponsors to raise money for what they do. And if you have a spiritual gift of making money, then you can write checks to solve problems. And that's true in your business too, right? Like not just with charity. As you go, look, making a whole bunch of money doesn't mean you have to keep it for yourself. Doesn't mean you have to like buy a private jet and an island. Like one of the amazing things about making money, like genuinely in my heart, one of my favorite things, like one of the honors of my life is employing so many people. It's saying like my work and my energy and my passion and my spiritual gift of generating revenue provides jobs. And I am motivated by paying our people more. Like that is something that has always been inspiring to me, is like, I want to not only make money for me and my family and for our charitable contributions, but the people who are on our team. Like part of how I measure success is like, are we able to pay our team more and more? And are we able to pay them the top of the market? Like one day I want to be able to say that like the people who work at Brand Builders Group, it's an amazing job. It's an amazing mission. It's amazing culture, it's amazing people. And they get freaking paid, girl. Like they get paid more than anyone doing that same role. Like that is genuinely inspiring to me, is going, I want to provide jobs for people. And in order to build that kind of company, you got to be able to write checks to solve problems. You got to be able to hire people to do stuff. You got to get copy written and videos edited, websites built and salespeople hired and whatever, you need administrative folks and operational people and financial stuff. Like you need legal contracts drafted, and you need all these things that it takes to run a business, and they all cost money. So you got to make money so that you can solve problems, so you can write checks, not just so you can get rich and whatever, buy islands and drive cars and whatever. There's nothing wrong with those things. But like, if those things feel off to you, then just shift your focus and go, no, my goal is because I want to provide charity. I want to support charity and good works in the world. And I want to support the people who are doing a good job and making a big contribution, right? Like, the people who are supporting me are creating jobs and creating opportunity. I mean, that's just super duper valuable. So if you struggle with those things, I mean, those are mental things that I think, Dean has really pushed past this. He's figured this out. He's conquered this. And anybody who's reaching lots and lots of people, like anybody in general, right? I am one of my central life philosophies was when Mark Twain said, each man is my superior in some way. I really believe that. I really believe each person is my superior in some way. Everybody has something to teach. And if you're struggling with reach and you're struggling with like sales, I go, man, Dean and Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi, like they have figured that out, how to do that, right? Like they have figured out how to reach a lot of people, make a lot of money, and do a lot of good in the world. So if you're interested in learning from them, I want to know. Thrive350.com, thrive350.com. Check out the free training and the other resources that they've got going on that'll come your way if you do that. Other than that, keep coming back here, stay plugged in, and I hope you're enjoying this, like, and stay here until you're ready to take the next step. A whole conversation that Dean and I had about, when he was saying, as you become a more serious athlete, you go, I need the next level of coaching. And when you're ready for it, we are ready for you. So thanks for being here. We'll catch you next time on the Influential Personal Brand Podcast.